Good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ, wherever you are, young and old in the world. Thank you for coming here to listen to my 10-minute Bible studies here on TikTok, and I transfer them to YouTube. So be sure to go back there, subscribe, and you can listen to all the replays. So today I'm going to talk about a topic that we've all experienced at least one time in our life. According to statistics, at least 30+% of Americans have had anxiety. That's the word for the day. Suffered with anxiety, and quite frankly, I think it's more like 100%, but it's just not recorded. So anyway, we're going to talk about the topic of anxiety. I'm going to talk about what it is. By the way, I'm going to be reading. I put together some notes here, a lot of notes on this subject actually, and I'm going to be talking about what it is, what causes it, how to beat it, nutritional deficiencies that may cause it or exacerbate it, and also Christian behavioral modification practice tips. But the main three things: what is it, anxiety, what causes anxiety, and how to beat it. And this is all going to be from a Bible perspective. I have personal experience with anxiety. When I lost my first marriage, I had anxiety, I had fear, I had worry. In various points of my life, getting new jobs, losing jobs, all sorts of issues, and just the troubles of life, it caused me to have anxiety. I've actually thanked God for it. I had a panic attack. I had a series of panic attacks, and they've all gone away, but it was interesting when they occurred because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. And so when I am talking to other people who have had panic attacks, mainly in my practice as an occupational therapist, which is what I do for a full-time job, when people talk about mental disorders or panic attacks or anxiety in general, I'm like, hey, I know what you're talking about. It's not fun. Very, very serious. So I'm going to get right to it here. By the way, this may be part one, and probably I'm not going to finish this, so I'll immediately do part two. And there may even be a part three, which I'm pretty sure there's going to be, because when I get into the nutritional deficiencies that contribute to anxiety, which there are some, and also the Christian behavioral modification techniques and practice tips, I kind of want to delve more deeply into that as a practical way of using the Bible and behavioral techniques to smash anxiety, fear, and worry in the face. So here, let's get to it. So first, what is anxiety? Well, there's different words. Again, this is from a Bible perspective. Talking about anxiety, worry, or fear. You can kind of lump them all together. This is my sliding scale, and this is not like documented or anything, but to me, the sliding scale goes like this: fear, which is like in the moment; worry, which can last about a day or a week; anxiety, which can last about a week or for a lifetime, God forbid. Then it moves into maybe depression, where there's no interest, there's no joy, there's no purpose in life. Depression. And there's various, depression is on a sliding scale as well. We can all be depressed for a moment, and we can be depressed for a day. And then once it starts moving into a week or months, then it starts to get very serious and gets clinical. And that's when, you do want to talk to your doctor and get perhaps some medications. Although I'm not really into that, but hey, it is what it is. If they're available and medications can help with depression, to be medications when it comes to any kind of mental challenge or disorder, medications to me are great because, and I'm speaking from a clinician point of view, is that they definitely can open a door of opportunity to go in through the door and make some positive behavioral changes, or quite frankly, spiritual changes using the Word of God. So there's nothing wrong with, when needed, you definitely want to talk to your doctor. So anyway, fears for a moment. This is my definition. Worry can last from a day to a week. Anxiety from about a week to a lifetime. Depression, it can last for weeks to a lifetime. Then it moves into phobias. Now it's getting really serious. You can have phobias to heights, to bugs, to speaking in public, to public spaces, to small spaces. I have phobias, actually. They kind of come and go, but sometimes if I'm in a really tight elevator, man, I start to really freak out. It happened once. I was visiting the Hoover Dam here in Nevada, and we walked into this big elevator, and I think about 80 people jammed into this, maybe not, about 50 people jammed into this tight elevator. I was up against the wall and going down, it seemed like a quarter of a mile down into the belly of the earth. I almost passed out. I realized I was having a panic attack because I had had one or two or three before, and I was like, uh-oh, panic attack. So I just closed my eyes, blocked out everything, focused on my breathing, and barely got out alive. Not fun. So then we got phobias, and then last but not least, it can move into psychosis, which is not cool at all. We're talking about delusions, hallucinations, confused thinking, and that's when you just need to get to a hospital. And most likely the people around you recognize it, and they're going to recommend and maybe get you admitted or admit yourself. So that's the sliding scale of these of worry and fear and the psychiatric mental disorders. And I believe that, and I believe the Bible proves this out, that everybody born of a woman, the entire human race, has worry and fear and anxiety on some scale, somewhere along the scale. So what can you do about it, right? But before we get there, what is anxiety? What is it? How can we define it? Well, anxiety is a feeling of worry. It's nervousness. It's a fearfulness or unease, typically about an event that's coming or an event that's likely, and this is a key word, probable or probabilistically going to happen. It may not, but it might. Or it's something with an uncertain outcome. That's anxiety. Anxiety continued here. It's a desire to do something typically accompanied with unease, worry, or fear. Like public speaking, you can have anxiety about that. Again, that's just in the moment. That's more of like a momentary fear. Oh, I got to stand up on a stage and speak before people. And do I really know everything? Am I going to forget anything? That causes a temporary fear, worry, or anxiety. Anxiety is also it's a mental condition characterized by excessive apprehensiveness about real or perceived threats, typically leading to avoidance behaviors and often to physical symptoms such as increased heart rate, muscle tension, pressure. When I was having my panic attacks, I had about 3 of them. I could feel pressure in my chest. I literally thought I was dying. I felt like my spirit was leaving my body. And passing out, this feeling of passing out, and a fear of losing consciousness. Pretty significant stuff, right? Very scary. And when it happens to you, if you've actually had a panic attack or anxiety, it's not fun. So you're definitely looking for a way to stop this. So, who has anxiety? It affects every single person on planet Earth. The rich, poor, the beautiful, the not so beautiful, the mentally slow, the abused, the spoiled, the traumatized. The rich, they have anxiety. I have everything I want, but how do I keep it? The poor have anxiety. I don't have enough, and how will I get it? The beautiful, I have such beauty, but what if I lose it? The not so beautiful, how can I get beautiful? Who's going to love me? The intelligent, I'm so smart. Why is everybody else so stupid? And, the problem with intelligence, so there's a lot of really highly intelligent people out there. The more you know, the more you realize that you don't know, and that causes stress. The mentally slow, or the average person like me. Well, enough of that. The abused. People are abused in many different ways. There's, let's see, put that right here. Emotional abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse. That's obvious, right? If you've been abused, you're going to have worry and fear and anxiety. But then again, not all people that have been emotionally, physically, and psychologically abused, not all of them suffer with this pervasive anxiety. So they have figured out some way, whether through God and prayer or some behavioral humanistic technique, to not live in a state of anxiety. God bless them, right? And then I put here the spoiled, people that have, maybe children, young children especially, young teens that have had everything handed to them. Even they can have anxiety because when they hit their first challenge in life, wow, they don't know how to deal with it. They were not taught that challenges even exist, and now they have to deal with them. The traumatized, people that are traumatized by families, by strangers, family members or strangers, or by war, can have these feelings. And even, then I put even Leave It to Beaver, Happy Days, Brady Bunch families. Everybody suffers from worry, fear, and anxiety. So, who has anxiety? Everyone has anxiety. It's part of the human experience. It will always manifest itself through the body in poor health, or the emotions through positive and negative behaviors and habits, or positive and negative addictions. So you can think of when people are anxious, they begin to want to control things like their diet. Oh, they're going to go from just, normal weight to just becoming excessively thin and anorexic, or extremely fit, where they get to the gym every single day for an hour. They never miss a day. These people, they never miss a day of working out. They never miss a day of whatever kind of exercise that they must have. It's their way of dealing with this anxiety. And that's a positive addiction, right? Or even distractions or hobbies. Or I love the NFL football team so much, it just becomes every bit of my life. I have the jerseys. My whole house is painted in Raiders gear or whatever. Or maybe it's a hobby or distraction. They have to be doing this hobby. And really, it's just a way to calm the spirit. These people that are addicted to all these things in life that life offers probably have an ongoing anxiety. It's their way of dealing with it. So who has anxiety? Everybody. I'm at 12 minutes. I've already got to take this to part 2. Hey, listen, check out part 2 and we will continue. God bless you. Talk to you soon.